If you're looking for some feel-good movement that's gonna leave you feeling relaxed, grounded, and energized, then you will love this 15-minute smooth gong session. This is a collection of moves inspired by Qigong that I've used consistently for general mobility, strength, and stress relief. Quick note, I'm not a Qigong teacher, just sharing some stuff that I've found incredibly valuable and that has improved the quality of my life. Enough talking, let's get to moving. Enjoy this edition of Smooth Gong. We're gonna move around for about 15 minutes and really connect with the body. Let's start off with a bounce and shake. Feeling rooted into the ground with your feet. Breathing nice and tall through the spine, elongating like you got a string being pulled up through the top of your skull. And bouncing at whatever frequency makes sense for you. So this could be real quick. It's also going to be really, really slow and methodical, focusing on what you need right now. Take your hands and slowly start stroking the throat. So gliding the hands down from your jaw towards the collarbone and waking up that neck. As you start to get a feel for this, you can start to rotate through the eyes and the neck. So looking over your shoulder, and then with the opposite hand, pulling back towards the other direction. So this is going to help open up our throat. Also just activate everything around the neck so we know where it is in space. Really get into what you need for this area of your body. We can hold a lot of tension, a lot of toxins with lymphatic fluid, so get things moving here. You can also take that massage up to the crown of your head. I really like to open up the jaw here as well and take some time to get to know the skull and the neck. Spread your feet out about shoulder width, maybe a little bit further apart, and sink into those feet, making connection through your foot all the way up to the hip, and vice versa. On the inhale, you're going to bring your hands up and ascend through your body, press through the feet, and then on that exhale, hands come down through the front of the body and we sink into that Wuji stance. Eyes are forward here, gazing and taking in your surroundings. I want you to notice if you're carrying any tension, maybe in your eyebrows, maybe in your jaw, and seeing if you can take that smile inwardly, so smiling throughout your entire body, and you can do this with a small, straight mouth smile on your face. Remain in that Wuji stance. You can always widen it out and sink into that horse stance. And from here, we're going to throw some Frisbees. So I want you to find that center of the body, the midline, and then with that Frisbee toss, reaching through the fingertips from the center of your body. You're going to take that eye gaze just beyond your fingertips. So doing your best to soften your eyes, soften your brow, and continue to take in your surroundings. Another thing you can do here is close those eyes and get a feel of the internal environment, really focusing on cultivating that center. Grounding through the feet, making sure We're able to feel that midline of the body, where that reach is coming from through the feet and through that hand that's throwing the Frisbee. We're going to keep this going, but we're going to add petting the dog with the other hand. So I've got my top hand facing up towards the sky, and then I've got that bottom hand stroking the dog beneath me. So a little multitasking, some great park activity, playing with dogs, playing with Frisbees. Again, doing your best to ground through those feet, engaging that center of the body, the hips, the core, through the shoulders, reaching beyond those fingertips, and acting as if you're brushing energy with your fingertips. So maybe there's just a little resistance through your fingertips, and you've got this field of energy that you're able to create brush strokes in. Bringing those feet in underneath the hips, and we'll take it into a bounce. So this could be the bounce that we did earlier with the feet completely on the ground. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more energy, so getting a hop going. And you can also add a nice little pivot or twist through your feet. So just simple ways to continue to stimulate the nervous system in the body. And then from there, we'll take it into some marches. Once again, noticing some tension in my face, I take that smile internally and then have that expressed with a nice, relaxed face. Driving the feet into the ground, really feeling that connection all the way up into the hip. Just allowing that rotation to naturally occur with tapping the knees. Pressing those feet to the ground, growing nice and tall through the body, and we're simply going to clap the hands in front of the chest, extend those arms out, and then take this into a sensory slide. Now I want to look at my thumb, and that's going to allow some nice rotation through the neck, and I'm really just focusing on drawing the bow across my chest here, driving through the elbows, staying connected into the shoulder, but also reaching through my fingertips. We want to feel that engagement through the center of the body out. Now, we're going to add a little pivot. So you pivot through that trail hip, through the ankle and the foot as well, and continue to follow that thumb with your eyes. This will feel real nice to get some rotation through the entire body, and continue to ground through those feet. It's going to establish a nice engagement and some stretch through the hips. Clap the hands and start rubbing them together, creating some heat, some friction, some fire, energy. And then we're simply going to place those palms and rest them on our eye sockets. A little pressure here. This is really soothing for the nervous system. And then you might have to take your hands off of your eyes for a moment, but now we're just going to start to move the torso, the head, the neck, the entire body around, and eliminate any of that visual stimulation. So I want you to really cue into that internal environment of your body, what it's like without your vision. And you may notice maybe some panic at times. You also may notice some relaxation, some letting go. So really allow yourself to intuitively move through this stuff and create some new pathways for tension in your body. You can go ahead and open your eyes up, and while our eyes might be a little blurry, we'll take it into the Zen Swing. So a little bit wider than shoulder width, and simply shifting weight from left to right side, allowing those arms to swing with a nice momentum. Now, we want to have some connection through the shoulder into the torso and the core. So this is a great opportunity to feel that momentum and also connect with that midline and that center. So connecting with the ground through your feet and feeling that stuff come up through your body and allowing this to dissipate any tension that you may be holding on to. Hopefully those eyes are clearing up too. And you can see I'm getting a little Carlton action here. So yeah, get into what feels good for you in the Zen Swing. Back to some marching. So I'm going to coil one side of the body by driving one knee up and then pulling that same side elbow down. On the long side, I'm going to drive that foot into the ground and then drive my palm up towards the sky. Big focus here is staying connected with that midline and the center of your body. So that weight shift can be really powerful to better understand where the center of the body is. And then reaching from your hand, but doing your best to feel that as close to the center of your body as possible. So this is going to allow us to stay in the shoulders, in the core, and develop some internal strength. Keep going with this. If you find yourself losing balance at any point, I recommend you find something to gaze at eye level in front of you, and feel more of the rotation around that object. So let's say it's a tree. I can imagine myself rotating around that. Next up, you can see the Kung Fu here. So just this pretty typical Kung Fu pull and push, and establishing that solid horse stance, making sure we're driving those feet into the ground. And with that pressure, seeing if we can create some activation through the entire body here. So pulling back through the elbow, that palm is going to come up, and then when you punch forward, reaching and applying some force, let's say with the breath here as well. So just a simple way for us to feel rotation and increase intensity. This does not have to be intense. This can be really soft, slow, and what you need. But hey, if you want to ramp it up, be that Kung Fu. Next up, we're going to take it into playing the accordion. So eyes are closed, and you're going to bring your arms out to the side and then bring them back in, just like you're playing the accordion. Nice little miming drill here. And what I want you to really feel into is your fingertips as the lateral rib cage. So as you inhale, you're going to feel that lateral expansion, that widening through your body. And then as you exhale, you're going to notice that pull back towards the center. Cultivating a better understanding of that center, of that midline in the body. And that's going to require us to feel the expansion outward and the contraction back in. Wherever your body wants to go with this one, I encourage you to let it. The rib cage, we got to open it up, and sometimes it's some different angles. You can go ahead and open your eyes, and we're going to take this into a full body rub down. So I'm going to start tapping my chest and my stomach, tapping my thighs, bring them down to the shins, the lateral legs, coming up the inner thighs, and then I really like that lateral glute, making sure I'm getting that side butt area. Again, just tap in. We'll take it into some rubbing of the arms. So creating a nice little figure 8 pattern through your arms, up through the shoulder, the neck. And this is really a great way to get in touch with the senses of your body. If you find any spots of, let's say, excess tension, I encourage you to spend a little bit more time there. And then this last piece, acting as if you're brushing off any energy that you don't want to hold on to anymore. You can also rub underneath those armpits, maybe the spot you miss in the shower. Make sure you remember it next time. And that is a wrap on the rub down. We're going to take it into a minute of stillness. So close your eyes, pressing into the ground, relaxing with each breath. I want you to focus on inhaling through your nose and growing tall through the spine, the neck. And then on the exhale, noticing those shoulders widen, the collarbone broaden. And just stay focused on that expansion upward on the inhale and the expansion laterally on the exhale. That is it for Smooth Gong. I encourage you to stay here as long as you need to. Feel into that space of stillness. Appreciate you showing up for this session. Stay smooth.